Welcome back to the Gadget Spot, post-holiday edition.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We made it.
Yeah.
That's it. We're here.
Hey, guys.
It's the morning. We're not fully awake yet.
True.
You know, it's been a hard 2 weeks.
It's the morning after Christmas. We're all pretty tired.
Ever since I found out I was Slytherin, it's changed my life. And ever since my wife found out, whenever I'm like even a tiny bit mean to someone,
So all the time.
she says he's a Slytherin.
I haven't told my wife for that exact same reason. I also came up house still Slytherin.
Okay, I see you as like a fun Slytherin, though. Like, hey, I'm going to blow you up, but with a smile.
I'm more of the mob mentality Slytherin. Like, I wouldn't actually go do evil deeds. Like, you know.
No.
But I'm in the crowd.
He's the
I'm like, yeah,
Get him!
Get up!
team.
Harry Potter sucks!
Yeah.
he's the sociopath, psychopath Slytherin.
Yeah.
He's like really nice to you. He kind of lures you in, but deep down he wants to kill you and skin your
He'll cut you up into
face.
pieces.
In the dark.
Exactly.
With a
Anyway,
smile.
yeah.
I'm Hufflepuff because
feeling-
I'm Hufflepuff, baby.
I'm Hufflepuff because I'm Hufflepuff.
I'm pretty sure I'm Hufflepuff because that's the only house that would take me.
Like, he doesn't fit into... put him in Hufflepuff.
Like my adoption, you know.
He's
Whoever will take him.
It's like
He doesn't fit in any house.
he's
so.
really friendly and doesn't excel at anything. Hufflepuff.
yeah.
Hufflepuff's like, send them over. We need the members.
That's how I got in.
I'm like this-
I was Hufflepuff too.
I'm the starting character in any racing game. You know, I'm not any good at one thing. I'm just kind of neutral in everything. You can call me vanilla.
Hey, I know that very well.
I'll tell you what I'm going to call you. Excitable James.
Woo! You can find me on Twitter at JDD Jensen. You can find me back on Xbox at Funeral Taters.
You're
That's Funeral
keeping
Space Taters. I didn't end up selling it. No,
High
I couldn't
five.
get it for the price that I wanted.
Not anymore.
So he couldn't get anyone to pay more than what it's worth.
Well, and the fun thing is I took a good long 2.5 weeks off of Battlefield 1, and I'm hitting that game hard, man. That game is good.
No, remember what we talked about? Moderation.
Yeah, that's why you had to
You
sell it
were
in the first
trying to
place.
sell it in the first place because you played it too much, and now you're just doing it again.
Yeah.
You should.
Moderation.
He's
It is a
learned
good
nothing.
game. It is a good
I
game.
can see you've obviously learned your lesson.
But only when you play it in bulk sittings, and it's great.
Jeez.
It's a great game.
And that affects James's other projects how?
I don't have any right now.
I saw you on Xbox One, on Xbox Live on Christmas Eve, and I thought to myself, it's a Christmas miracle. He's keeping it.
On Christmas Eve, I think I was watching Netflix.
I don't know, but
Still,
you were signed in,
you
and
were in.
it made me happy.
Aw, yeah.
Yeah.
It made you happy, Jarron?
That's me. I'm Jarron. My Twitter name is @Jarron. Xbox Live, Vinegary Jarron. I'm thinking we should pivot to a Harry Potter podcast. That opening, it really made me happy.
The Harry Potter podcast.
Yeah.
You can do that on your own time. This is Gadget's Tech
Or
and
the
Games.
Western family version of Harry Potter, which is Harley Porter.
Harley Porter. Yes.
Is that one of your tweets? So did you just read a tweet?
No,
Oh,
me
okay.
and my friend wanted to write a skit show about this kid who thought that he was Harry Potter.
Dude.
Hold on, we'll come back to this. Who was the person who was
Those
just talking?
skit
Hey.
shows, the Harry Potter parodies have been done to death.
No, Harley Porter. He's like the
Dude.
kid that hangs out in the bushes on a golf course.
To death!
And when somebody hits
I
the
love
ball,
them.
he
I still
pops
watch
out
every
of the
one of them.
bushes. He's like, "I've got the snitch," and he takes the golf ball and runs off.
That actually sounds pretty terrible.
Dang it.
I'm gonna find. I'm gonna find one of those videos and put it on. Tweet it out.
Tell us about it, Owen. Tell
Yeah.
us about it.
So yeah, if you want to find me and that tweet, go check me out on Twitter @TechNoan or Xbox Live Mortieth84.
You're on there once a week for 5 minutes.
Yes, or so. That's my kids usually
Oh, dang it.
playing Minecraft.
James has a Minecraft story that I think we can get to a little bit
yeah,
later.
later we could talk about that.
And I'm the host, Tony. Check me out on Twitter @QuadTTony or on the Geek Show podcast as well. Let's get down to it, fellas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got
Christmas.
a lot of stuff to talk about. We got quite a few stories. We're going to do some best of action and worst of for the end of the year, since this is the last show of 2016, and see where that takes us. So let's kick it off looking at some review action, because we don't have any emails or anything this week.
Oh, you're not
So-
supposed to say that.
That's okay.
It makes us look pitiful.
It's okay. I don't
Well,
mind.
it's because everybody's spending time with their parents.
Yeah, people got stuff to do.
Yeah.
So, Jarron, you got some AirPods.
I did.
We had a unboxing video of them.
our very first unboxing video. You
Yeah.
can check it out on Facebook or YouTube. But yeah, I got some AirPods. I even brought them.
How long have you had them for now?
I've had them. I don't even remember.
About a week.
You haven't
Yeah,
lost
the
them
answer's
yet?
a week.
They're a part of me now. It feels like I've had them forever.
We unboxed them a week ago
How
today.
often do you use them?
Uh,
While he's processing that, if you want to see the unboxing video, where can you find it?
YouTube. Check out the Gadget Spot YouTube channel, or you can find it on Facebook as well at the Gadget Spot on Facebook.
Yeah.
I've actually tried to use them quite a bit so I could review them. However, AirPods, dude, they are actually quite good.
You know what I realized we forgot to do real quick?
Oh, okay. Let's get out all the making fun of Jarron now
No,
before I
no.
start the review.
No,
let's
I
have
just-
him do
so
the
I don't
story,
freak
then we can-
out.
then we can come to this.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll do Jarron first, then we'll come back.
I don't know if you know what a train wreck looks like,
This is it, right here.
but this is why we don't do it in the morning.
I'm
Yeah.
the confused passenger that doesn't know why he just died.
You just sit there and look at the seat in front of you and smile.
I was sipping my hot chocolate when
All right,
when I went.
All right, Jarron. Let's do your...
You're trying to connect
Whoa.
to your AirPods.
You're trying to take my connection. You stop that.
Okay, tell us about your AirPods, and then we'll get back to the thing that I stopped the show for very unceremoniously and terribly.
Yeah,
You're pulling like a me right
That
now.
was bad.
I don't even know why this happened.
I didn't mean to be like James. It just
It
happened.
feels like I just found out that my father isn't the smartest man in the world.
I'm not your father.
Well, you look old enough to be.
Very clever, Jarron. Very
That
clever.
white, it's that single white hair in his beard.
It's you know what that comment just turned you? No AirPod review.
Sweet.
That's
We're going
it.
to me. All right.
Straight to James.
All right. Really, really quick, and by really quick, I mean we're going to take a little bit of time on it. We have a couple of special thank yous to our Patreon backers, or as
Yeah.
we like to call them,
Our tech daddies.
Tech Daddies.
Tech Daddies.
I like that name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a very special thank you to Adam Hecht, Ramon Valentine, or as his friends call
just
him,
Valentine.
Valentine, Conrad
Valentine.
Southworth, Brian
Hey,
Lee.
Conrad.
Special thank you to Aaron Harris, and a very, very, very special thank you to AJ Jasper. What Patreon is, if you haven't already had it ingrained in your mind, is it's a way to give to the entertainment providers in which we provide you.
Yep.
Take it over, Tony.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. If you want to donate to our podcast and help keep the lights on and keep the podcast running, feel free to at Patreon/Gadget Spot, or is it the Gadget Spot?
I always forget. Hold on. Don't worry. I only have it pulled up. Anywho, yeah, so it's fun.
Patreon.com/Gadget Spot.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, /Gadget Spot.
So any donations we are very happy and thankful to receive.
But
And
any-
if you don't want to donate or can't donate or whatever, that's fine too. Just
Podcast
keep
is
on
still free.
Keep on listening. The podcast will always be free. The donators get a little bit of extra action in the form of some extra content each month. And as always, we always encourage iTunes reviews and tell your friends about us.
Can we
And-
talk about the extra content? Have we released that?
Yeah, we can talk about it. We just can't show it to
Yeah.
the people who
Yeah.
haven't
Did
backed
we
us.
did we release it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. You guys got it.
Yeah.
Well, the Doritos one.
The
but we're
Doritos
gonna
one.
redo the Mountain Dew one.
You guys should watch that one as I won the contest, and that's all. That is all.
He
That's
did
all.
indeed.
I didn't think I was going to. I wasn't even trying. I was just. I hate competition, so I was just.
I win without trying.
I was hoping just to get the participation thing, but you guys all didn't try very hard.
I was just happy
So
to
I
eat
ended up-
Doritos.
Yeah. How
You
were
had-
the rest of the bag of those, by the way?
They're good.
Yeah. So the what are they called? The Jacked Buffalo
Something
wings.
Buffalo wings.
Buffalo Wing Dip
Ranch.
Ranch.
Oh, they were
jacked.
It had
Anyway,
like
they were-
7 descriptions in the
Yeah.
name. So
They were-
and
good,
chicken
though.
powder. We looked up chicken powder and learned a lot about that.
yeah, chicken powder exists.
Are you allowed to eat chicken
You
powder,
pulverize a
Jared?
chicken into powder and you put it onto chips, and it's good.
That's
Anyway.
some good chicken powder.
I feel like there's a joke in there about how you won that competition by just participating and how you have 3 kids by just participating, and you're just
yeah,
happy
but
to be a part of things.
I am literally a leaf in the stream.
But if it helps, you're a happy guy who dresses in a lot of gray.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I'm in black today.
Seems perfectly normal
But
to
the
me.
black has faded into gray.
Oh,
Hey.
So I
But-
guess it still works for
But I
my-
have a Christmas present for you that'll change this.
Oh no.
You
I
brought
did not
Christmas
bring 'em,
presents?
Oh.
Because I was so worried about being here on time today.
Yeah, I brought
were an
Christmas
a-
presents too.
You were an hour early.
I know. That's why I was so worried about being late.
Okay.
Let's move this
now let's
slow
go back
train
to
along.
the AirPod review. Thank you to our Patreon backers.
Thank you, Patreon backers.
Okay, Jarron, tell us about your
We could do it without you, but just not with as much money.
I wouldn't
not
like
as
it.
easily.
I wouldn't even say we would do it without them. Keeps me going. Just in my normal life.
Yeah.
That's very, very good. AirPods. So I got AirPods, and they are great. So I've used them a few times. I'll hit a few points here. A big problem that other wireless earbuds have had is connection to your phone. When you step outside, they tend to lose connection. AirPods are like the exact opposite of that. Connection is crazy, crazy good. I did some snow shoveling yesterday. I put my phone on my car, got to the edge of my driveway. It's just like 30 feet away. Connection was still strong, no problems at all. I have left my phone upstairs, gone all the way downstairs, across the house. Connection still going strong.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Why don't you take your phone with you, though?
I normally do, but I did it for testing.
testing it.
Oh,
Yep.
testing. Okay.
So connection is great. Seems Apple has solved that problem. I hear Braggy has their new earbuds. What are they called? The earphones, something.
Sport or no, I can't remember. Anyway, they're like $100 cheaper
Yeah,
than the old Braggies.
They're $10 less than the Apple AirPods, but apparently those keep a strong connection as well. However,
The Dash?
no, those are their original.
That was the Primos.
Yeah. But the new Braggies don't come with a battery case, and that is one of the great things about the AirPods is the battery case. You guys aren't really paying attention.
I am. I'm listening.
I feel like
We're
I'm
trying to find the name
I'm
of that.
speaking to a brick wall here.
Hey, this is what it's like when I talk about GPUs. Now get on with it.
Turnabout.
Battery life is great. Lasts like 5 hours without the battery case. With the battery case, it's like 25. And since I never listen to music for 5 hours at a time, it feels like the battery life.
So
is
you've
just-
never come close to killing it?
What's
Yeah.
your music listening to versus your like talkie radio listen to?
I don't really listen to talkie radio. I listen to music.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
He doesn't even listen to our show.
What?
No, I do. Yeah.
Anyone that follows up a statement with "yeah," it means they're lying.
Funny thing is I barely listen to any music. I if I'm not listening to like a Stitcher podcast, I'm listening to like Pandora stand up radio.
You serious?
I barely listen to music.
Dude, I listen to a lot of music. Going into sound quality, it's actually good. It's not. I'm no audiophile. But to me, there's a point where if it's good enough, I don't really care anymore. And the AirPods have reached that point. The bass sounds, generally okay.
Oh, that's comforting.
It's good.
How do you feel?
I'm just saying, pick a better word if you're going to say it's good.
Well, like I said,
describe it
I'm
as-
no audiophile. I already described that, how if it's good enough for me, I don't care anymore. And it's gotten to that point.
generally okay.
Well, I find that bass sounds better in like the suction cup ear
They do.
headphones versus like the Apple headphones. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, it still sounds good, though.
Well,
The bass is there. It's clear. It reaches the lows that it needs to
Some
reach.
people say it's all about that.
I'm mostly deaf. Have you guys ever been to one of those audio tests? Can you hear this sites?
I thought you were going to change the subject to like
Nope.
something else.
No. So I don't have I listen from what I listened to, they're fantastic when we did the unboxing.
They sounded all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm
Better
mostly
than
deaf.
I thought they would.
Because have you guys ever been to one of those testing sites where
Uh-uh.
you hit the tones and you can't hear them? I'm at like the second to lowest level. I can't hear anything above that.
That's
Anyway.
not good.
Yeah, you should. I
don't know if
had a
that's
lot
something
of
to brag about.
I had a lot of loud music. Well, I'm just saying, like they were.
What
great.
was
They were
your
great to
loud
me.
music that you wrecked your hearing on? Was it worth it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't worth it.
It was Blink 182, wasn't
It
it?
sure was.
Hey, I love Blink 182.
Yeah.
Just bump it. I've been coughing into my hand.
It totally was. That started out as an
I
insult, but I'm
straight
gonna
up
own
gave
it.
you a high five, Jarron.
The 3-chord heroes of Blink
Yeah,
182.
exactly. I loved
Hey,
it.
say what you will, but
I
they
just
write
did.
catchy songs.
Yep.
I do not like Blink 182.
I liked him in high school, and then I realized this is the same songs over and over again.
Just like
wide
just like
open.
Green Day, those guys are like 40 still writing songs about high school.
It's true.
Anyway,
Super seniors.
you should go.
In a band.
I'm gonna put the link to one of those hearing tests in there, and you should go listen to see if you can hear it. You'll be hitting the button on the high stuff, and somebody around you,
Is it in the show notes?
it will be.
Okay.
Somebody around you will be like, "What in the is that noise?" And I'll be.
We
I'm
should
like,
all
"Can you hear
take
it?
that
I don't hear
test.
anything.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it?"
We should all take that test before we go home today.
Yeah.
We can taste it.
Put it up in the
I
show
mean,
notes,
take it.
Owen.
Okay, I'll put up the show notes. But
I want to taste it.
I was at work doing it, and I just was mashing the button. And some kid across the room was like, "Who is doing that?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? I can't hear anything." Anyway,
All right, Jarron.
But that's why.
Owen, keep going.
Talking about those, I liked how they sounded. And
yeah, they're good. And it's
take back my "they fall out of your head" statement.
That's
Yeah,
true. We shook our heads.
I officially rescind that.
They do stay in your head, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Well,
Even Tony with his freakish ears, stayed in.
I was surprised.
But for me, it's all about use case. If I want like really good sound quality, I'm not going to be moving around. I'm going to be, sitting still. If I'm sitting still, I'm probably going to use my Bose headphones. But for the AirPods, I'm probably going to be active, working out, doing something, and so I won't really care as much about the sound quality. But that said, I find the sound quality to be good. But overall, it's a great product. It connects really quickly with an iPhone. Great battery life, good sound quality, stays in your ears. I really like them.
I would like to hear a reviewer's aspect of it for someone who doesn't own an Apple phone. Someone that wants to just use it.
Well,
why would
you get it if you didn't have an Apple phone?
Well, it still connects to an Android phone, just like any other
right,
Bluetooth
that's
speaker.
what I'm saying. So
just not as snappy. That's pretty cool.
Is that the only difference?
But the snappiness is only the first time you connect to it.
Right. But
it's the first pairing process. If you don't care about going into a Bluetooth menu,
there's
then
no special magic as far as the signal strength.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
So have you run into any of those? So James' phone just tried to connect to your headphones. Have you run into any? Can you do that? Could somebody hijack your connection to your AirPods if they got close enough? Do they require the case to be able to sync like that?
Yeah, it has to be in the case for it to sync.
Okay.
So once they're out of the case, you don't really have to worry about that.
Could somebody like hijack it and start playing like, I don't know, some Blink-182 and you'd really hate them?
It would only be when you first take them out of the case.
Dude.
But I don't know.
Well, that is the one issue that we've been having with our Bose wireless speaker at my house. Is like my wife is like the first priority, and then I'm second. So like if
you are.
I'm playing. Yeah, that's how everything is in my life. I'm sad, but no. No, it's like I'm playing something or listening to something, and she jacks it and listens to like Revenge on Netflix or something.
Yep. Same thing with my car. I have the Bluetooth speaker in my car, and it does the same thing.
I hate that so much. Revenge, that show. I hate it.
My wife loves that show.
I hate that.
Never watched it.
Never
I
seen it.
feel like it's made for the ladies, and I hate it.
Of course it is.
Are you watching it on Plex right now?
No,
Okay,
we have it's on Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had it up there for a while, and it's.
I feel like
Another cool thing about the AirPods, you can invoke Siri by tapping it twice. It's not touch sensitive. It's like actually hitting it. It's the accelerometer. Yeah.
See, I heard that was a negative with the earpods. I read a review online that said in order to turn music up and down, you have to like double tap it and say volume up or volume down if you don't want to get to your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
And it only takes it up like a notch. So like in order to turn it like way up or way down, you got to do that several times.
You think they would have done like a slider on the side or something.
I don't think that's
it's
much
not
of
touch sensitive though.
Oh.
That's not much of an issue to me
It should
because
be.
I usually adjust the volume right when I put them into my ear and start the music.
I mean, when it touches your ear, it pauses when you put them in your ear.
Yeah. And if you want it to pause, you just take it out. It'll pause. If
Is
you want
that
to play? Put it back in and start playing again.
Is that touch based or is that accelerometer?
That's sensor based, so
Like
it'll
something.
detect. You know, like how your phone has a motion or proximity sensor.
Oh, okay.
It's like that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I actually like how it's not touch based because if you were wearing a hat, I was wearing a snow cap yesterday. I just like hit my ear twice and it still came up.
It sounds like they have almost everything I would want in a pair of Bluetooth headphones that aren't connected at all by any wires. The only thing is that I still want a sealed in canal
Right.
earbud
like
style.
the rubbery.
Yeah, I still want one of those. But then as a result of wanting that, I would also want mic pass-through so that I can hear the sounds around me if I go running or something.
How does that not bother you though? Like it like suction cups it to the inside of my ear and it like hurts my eardrums. Like the
know.
rubbery stuff.
It
Like,
doesn't bother me.
Does it hurt you guys at all?
I don't like it, but I don't hate it.
Well, and sometimes it's like snagged on something and ripped out of my ear, and it feels like it's literally like a plunger with a toilet, and poop is my
And it
eardrum.
rips your eardrum open.
Yeah.
Yep, and
It's like
blood is
hanging.
everywhere.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
Have an awkward conversation. Well, so what's your overall?
What's your rating?
8.5.
Not bad.
It's a really solid first generation product. I really like it.
I would go as far to say that it is probably the best piece of hardware Apple put out this year.
Agreed.
Judging by your review and my experience with it, because their new MacBook Pros
did you see
fail.
Well, it's
I'm actually going to get into some of their fails later on this show.
Their iPhone 7 was kind of a fail too. They missed the boat on a few things on that one. That's the only hardware they released this year was those three. but that I can think of. Oh, there's the mini iPad Pros, but those were fine. They were just a smaller version of the iPad Pro.
Yeah.
Not exciting.
Nothing special.
Well, speaking of like in the ear experiences, Sony just barely released their Xperia. Yeah, what it is, like it was described as like the Amazon Echo, but of like Bluetooth ear devices. A couple of the pros is it works apparently really well with Amazon, but it does not work very well with iOS. What it does is it connects to your computer.
You mean
and
Android?
Or what did I say?
You said Amazon.
Oh, sorry, with Android.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't work very well with iOS. What it is it's a in-ear Bluetooth device, and it kind of looks like the old school like Bluetooth devices that you used to see like 5 or 6 years ago that everybody would be wearing around Walmart.
Got
but
my
nobody,
Bluetooth in.
Nobody ever gets that many phone calls to where it's like I need to have my phone in my ear all the time.
Yep.
But what it is it's like I said, it's like Amazon Echo, but in your ear. You could ask it questions. It would tell you stuff. When you get to like work, it could connect to your computer. It could you could dictate to it. You could do some cool stuff
What
with
kind
that.
of person would actually need this?
It wants
very
I don't
busy
think it's a
one.
need. I think it's more of like a want.
It wants to be the personal assistant from the movie Her. It sounds like.
Which, by the way,
If you haven't seen that movie, by the way, listener, you need to check that movie out. With
Her?
Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson playing the voice of the AI.
Oh yeah,
So
he marries the
good.
computer.
Such a good movie.
Oh yeah.
in theory, this is like an amazing device. I mean, we're still not there technology-wise as far as
Right.
like performance, and that's what the article says.
Wait, is it just one earbud?
It's one earbud.
Yeah, it's one earbud.
Huh.
It's not. Well, it's because it's not meant to be worn in both ears.
It's not for like stereo listening.
Yeah.
it's for
It's
more
a
of an
personal assistant
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's $200, and the battery life on it is apparently not the best. Music quality isn't there, but like I don't think you're wearing this as like a music device.
Yeah, if it's just one, why would you listen to music on it?
This to me is like something that you keep in your ear all the time, and it's like I'm at the store, you have your shopping list, you tap it. Hey, what did I come to the store to get? You know,
Yeah.
But
Do a price match for me at this
Battery.
other store.
battery life, you said, wasn't that good.
No.
If it's a personal assistant that's supposed to be in your ear all day, it better last all day.
It's
Yeah.
a part-time personal assistant.
Yeah.
I mean, I do see us someday having a wearable on your face or around your face.
Sure.
That is a personal assistant where you take it out at night, you plug it in, and that's what I see is kind of going to be the killer of the cell phone. Even though, like, I do think you're going to have like a tablet device still.
Is it really that hard to take your phone out of your pocket to look up information?
Was it really that hard to go?
Am
like
I
this
being
with
an
your
old
watch?
man here?
Is it really that hard to have?
The watch sucks. The smartwatch
You
sucks.
can do it while you're driving, though. That's the thing.
Is it really that hard to have cords that go from your earphones to your phone?
Yes, because they always fall out.
Yeah,
It was
you can drop
liberating
your cell
shoveling
phone.
my driveway without a cord hanging off myself
And your phone wasn't even
worrying
on
about
your
it being in the
person.
way of the shovel.
We put the cord down your shirt. Through
That's
your
what
shirt.
that's what I
It's
do.
easy. Then it doesn't catch
See,
on anything.
technology
It's like
is
a
about
fixer.
removing friction.
Right.
Removing a cord like that is removing friction.
So using
However,
a personal assistant,
an AI
to ask a
assistant that
question-
only works a quarter of the time in your ear does not remove friction.
Well,
I don't think
that's-
it's ready yet.
obviously
Well,
it's not
yeah,
ready.
that's-
That's the point. That's the point he's getting
Yeah,
at.
is
It's-
like
I'm agreeing. Dang it.
I'm agreeing passionately.
You're agreeing in a roundabout way that makes it feel like you're not agreeing.
But I mean, if you look at it, I mean, it kind of looks a little bulky. It looks like it's going to stick out of your ear quite a bit. I
Yeah,
mean,
it looks big.
It needs. I mean, if it looked like the Apple AirPod, like just a little thing that's like hanging out of your ear, I could maybe get behind it. But, it's cool in theory. Watch for them in the future, but
you need some.
Sony
need
is the
some work.
king of releasing tech that isn't ready yet.
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that looks awesome, but
Oh, yeah.
isn't
Oh, yeah.
awesome,
They've been doing that for 40 years.
at least.
so, yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
I want to hit on a couple of these. These are stories that I found that they're not very long, so we'll just hit on them fairly quickly. I remember Amazon wanted to launch their drone service.
Oh yeah.
They were all excited about
They
delivering
finally
packages.
got one.
Didn't they do some deliveries?
They did some test deliveries,
Oh.
but arguably the first person to the market with it now that is consistently doing deliveries.
The DMV.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
Oh, for real?
They're doing-
7-Eleven.
I'm like-
I was kidding. What are they
No.
delivering? Like
the hot
mediocre
dogs
service?
and Slurpees.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? 7-Eleven's great. Mediocre service? That's ridiculous.
My 7-Eleven's just dirty.
Tony has dragged me to 7-Eleven more times than I've ever been
They have
to
the
in my
best
life
hot
before.
Is
chocolate
it
you
the
can
one
get.
that's just over here?
Any 7-Eleven.
Any.
And anytime we drive by
Actually,
7-Eleven,
actually,
oh, we're
don't
going
go
to 7-Eleven.
Don't go to 7-Eleven Salt Lake.
I'm a Maverick
Don't
guy
do that.
myself.
I like Maverick because they have the cheddar hot dogs.
Those are good. Yeah,
The
but
Bahama Mamas.
That's at 7-Eleven.
Wait, there's people that actually eat
No.
those hot dogs?
Bahama Mamas are
that's
Maverick.
Oh, is that Maverick?
Yeah, yeah.
No, your hot dogs,
What's
man.
what's the one at 7-Eleven? That's the Bahama Mama.
No, Bahama Mamas.
Are they
is
at
Maverick.
both places?
Oh, yeah,
No.
it must be at both.
No.
You're right.
So
It's a
here's
big
what
bite.
7-Eleven has. If you
Quarter
ask
pound
me.
big bite.
Oh, that's the big bite
Yeah.
at 7-Eleven. Yeah.
Anyway,
7-Eleven's
Welcome to the Gadget Spot, where we talk about sausage
I'm
and
so
meats.
hungry right now. Though,
7-Eleven's got the it's got the Slurpees.
Oh yeah.
It's got the exclusive soda flavors like Solar Flare, Mountain Dew.
Oh yes.
It's got arguably the best gas station food, the taquitos and stuff like that. I'd say it and Maverick are the top dogs.
You
as
can get
far
mini
as gas
tacos at
stations.
7-Eleven.
Here it is.
Here, yeah.
All right,
Utah.
so what's news to me is people actually eat that food at convenience stores.
It's more. of
Well,
a-
you know why it's news to you is because you can't eat it. It all has gluten in it.
It all looks so old to me.
Are you kidding
It's like that episode of Seinfeld
Aged.
where Kramer eats this hot dog at a movie theater. It's been there for like 5 years.
Have any of you guys eaten a hot dog at a movie theater?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Have any of you eaten the nachos?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Have you eaten a churro?
Where are you going with
No.
this?
Yeah.
I was just wondering. I'm crowdsourcing.
Oh my gosh.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm on the podcast to ask questions.
Okay. So anyway, 7-Eleven has been doing this kind of a trial, but it's basically they have one location right now or two locations that is actively doing the drone delivery
And they're
service.
FAA approved.
FAA
I mean,
approved
they're-
and everything.
I mean, that's the
they're
hurdle.
basically this is just the first test before they roll it out in bigger markets.
You
So
know,
they
there's-
are ahead of Amazon. They're ahead of everyone else at this
This is
point.
like Radio Shack trying to sell real estate. Like, why are they doing this?
Dude, how great would it be if you're at work and you're like, man, I really want a Slurpee, but I don't want to go all the way to 7-Eleven. If
Then
you're
you
within-
don't deserve to have a Slurpee.
If you're within a 1 mile radius, you get on the app, order the Slurpee, it flies to you in a drone.
It'll open the door, go
So,
through the
is-
building, go up an elevator, and give it to you?
Yeah.
This feels like
Amazing.
No,
the-
it won't.
This feels
but-
like the tortoise and the hare. Like Amazon and Google. These guys were like, "Yeah, we're gonna deliver your drones." Like Chipotle,
We're
was
too
like-
big to
And
fail.
then 7-Eleven's like just snuck in over
Yeah.
the finish line. They're like,
They're just like
"Suckers!"
quietly over on the sidelines,
Yeah.
just like, hey, we're working on that too.
Yeah.
We're not going to say
Yeah.
anything.
not
you
gonna
know?
say anything. Let's deliver a Slurpee.
It's not like it's going to impact Amazon or Google or anyone. Though.
Well, it's a totally different market, but they made it too.
But in the annals of history, for
Yeah.
the first drone deliveries,
It was
7-Eleven.
and you know it's a very slow news week when we talk about 7-Eleven on a tech podcast.
This is awesome.
like
You
Slurpee?
shut up.
You like
Okay.
Slurpee?
The other thing, this is a quick one too. I wanted to hit on at this point is Pebble sells to Fitbit.
Oh,
Now this is a slightly older news. This came out a few weeks ago, but
This
I
hurts.
finally read the whole article and I was like, we need to talk about this because Pebble was the Kickstarter darling. They raised a buttload of money first.
did any of you guys have a Pebble?
No.
I was this close to purchasing one.
I had a Pebble for about a week. It lost its connection like 5 times a day. I had to restart it every single time, and it was driving me crazy. So then I shipped it back to him.
And I know quite a few people that did buy this, different versions of Pebbles throughout the last few years.
Yeah, I had a Pebble still, and I wanted to like it, but it just wasn't that great.
And they were kind of first to the mass market with smartwatch, wearable smartwatches or whatever, wearable technology, fitness tracker. They didn't do a whole lot of fitness tracking. It did a little bit, but
Yeah, I think they focused on the wrong aspect.
they
of
focused
the
on
market.
the smartwatch aspect more than the fitness. And that's, you look at now, most of them the market leaders right now are focused more on
Yep.
fitness aspect with smartwatch capability versus the other way around.
I love the people that actually do wear the smartwatches or the fitness stuff, because the people that wear the fitness stuff are like the most out of shape people that I've seen.
Totally.
They want to.
They want to buy it.
Hey, wait a minute!
Hey, Tony.
I'm wearing one. I want to prove that
Except for you.
I want to prove that I do walk and things. I don't always call the 7-Eleven drone for a Slurpee. But the most fascinating part about this article,
I'm sorry, Tony.
it's okay, was where it talked about how much Pebble sold to Fitbit for. It was like $32 million,
Yeah.
Just barely covering their.
barely covering their expense, their debt.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, no, I think it was earlier last year, not even, Microsoft tried to buy them for
200 million something?
No. It was Microsoft tried to buy him for. You have it in the article right here.
Yeah, I got it right here.
70.
70 million.
Was that Intel?
Yeah,
Oh, Intel tried to buy
for
him
the
for
paltry
$70 million.
sum of $70 million.
But then, and before
which is
then,
just a fraction of
before then, what company was that?
Citizen.
Citizen Watches tried to buy them for
$740 million.
$740 million.
It's like that game Deal or No Deal, and you pick the $1 million case, and
Yeah.
you're like, I'm gonna quit now.
Yep.
Pretty
or,
much.
Or you pick the $5 case and you go all the way to the end.
You eliminate the $1 million case
Yeah.
on your first guess.
If you are a tech startup, sell. Seriously,
At
because you will not
$750 million.
outlast Microsoft, Google, or Apple.
When you get offered $740 million,
Seriously, what were they thinking?
and you started off using only other people's money, a few $1 million on Kickstarter, man, sell that. Look at Oculus. That's what they did. I mean, they suck, but
But on the flip side of
But,
that, I mean, look at the original owner of Victoria's Secret. It wasn't a lingerie company at the time, but like
Tell me more.
They sold out for like nothing, and then they.
well,
One of the biggest
I was
brands.
talking about if someone offers you $740
But
million.
yeah, if somebody, obviously,
Obviously, if someone
I draw my line at
if
like
someone,
$2 million.
Yeah, if someone
Yeah.
came to Pebble right after their Kickstarter thing, you're like, "We'll buy it for $5 million." Yeah, don't. Obviously, you wouldn't
Guys,
want to sell for
let's
that.
start a tech company.
You got an
let's-
idea?
yeah.
You got experience?
Oh yeah,
You got skills?
None
None of us have skills.
It makes me sad though because they had some actually pretty cool products in the pipeline that were about to come out.
That's the other thing is they had 3 new products that were in the pipeline canceled. If you
Oh, really?
If you kickstarted them, you're getting a refund.
Oh.
And they've completely stopped production on any of their hardware right now.
So what
Bummer.
did what?
Can't
Why
get
did
them anywhere.
Fitbit?
They're shutting down the service a
They're
year from now.
Yep.
So
and
why
they're-
did Fitbit acquire them? I thought wouldn't Fitbit want to carry
I
on
think
their
that Fitbit acquired them for patents
Oh,
To
So-
Patents
just
and
slowly
their
put
talents.
the pillow
And their-
over
and their talents. Yeah.
Pebble's face. Go away, buddy.
Basically, they said we want your schematics. We want your people. Come work for us. And
Well, the thing is, they didn't even take all the people. Just I think half of them was it? Something
well, it's
like that?
if it's something like that. And then earlier this year, Pebble laid off 25% of their staff already. So I mean, it was a sinking
it
ship
was.
for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it kind of sucks. You know, startup hardware companies are pretty rare these days, and to see one go under
Yeah.
like that, it's kind of sad.
To me, it's kind of like WebOS. It looked really cool. It just didn't work that well in practice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it got sold to 3 other companies along the way.
Can I
Yep.
can I talk about it like a
Passed
happier
around.
story? Happier story.
Yeah. What do you got?
I want to talk about the most popular retro consoles of 2016.
Okay.
All right. So if you guys could guess
Do
what
it.
the number one,
You doing it?
yeah,
Okay.
what the number
it.
one retro console of 2016 would be, what do you think it is?
Nintendo.
NES Classic.
Nope.
Well, that's
Whoa.
That's what
probably
was the most
like
readily available.
RetroCon or something like that.
But this is the system that people want to go back. That was number 2 actually.
RetroCon.
Yeah. But the number 1 was the Nintendo 64, and that's because
what?
yeah,
Okay. What are
Because-
we talking about?
we are talking
Because
about.
you can't buy N64s
Are you
anywhere.
sure you're looking at the right year?
I'm looking at the GameStop survey reveals most popular retro consoles with customers.
Oh, most requested?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is the
that's
N64.
different. I thought we were talking about most sold.
Oh no, Why
Because that
we
would be
talking
an
about most
NES
sold?
Classic. Because that's a hard number that we can define.
Well, yeah. But anywho, yeah, it's the Nintendo 64.
So this is some random survey that GameStop.
Well,
Yeah.
they're looking at metrics. I mean, requests equals sales most of the time. Can't you make that conclusion?
It would if anyone was selling an N64, but
They
I already
probably-
knew nobody
well,
is.
That's true.
Yeah, the N64, that was a good system.
Yeah.
Last night I played a couple of rounds of Super Smash Brothers, and that game holds up really well.
it does. It's fun.
I wish I could play N64 games with the GameCube controller.
Yeah, I agree
That
with
would
that. The
be cool.
GameCube
That would be
controller
cool.
is the best controller that Nintendo's put out,
Yep.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Yep. They were like, let's do this triangle. Okay, that didn't work. Hey, let's make a classic, actual good usable controller.
Let's make a trident.
Yeah.
Make a controller out of a trident. That was the N64.
Genius. Question. So your right hand would obviously be on the right hand side of the. Did anybody
Yes.
ever use the D-pad on the left hand side? with your
No.
left
No,
hand?
there's
it was
like 2
always the
games
middle.
that I knew of.
Yeah.
Killer Instinct, I think, used it, and
Great game.
one other Clay Fighters, I think. No game other than a couple of fighting games used the D-pad.
So number 1 was N64. Number 2 was Nintendo Entertainment System. Number 3, the Super Nintendo, which I totally skipped that.
So
I never had
Nintendo
one
pretty
growing
much has the market cornered for
Well, if you think about it,
You know.
nobody else is. I
Yeah.
mean, there was Genesis.
Right.
That was pretty popular for
Sega.
a while.
There wasn't a Dreamcast
But-
on
well,
the list.
What did you say? What did you say?
Genesis.
The Genesis came in at number 5.
Yeah.
PlayStation's number 4, Xbox the original, which I don't like the
that
original
funny? Like,
Xbox.
Isn't it funny that we consider Xbox a retro gaming
Yeah,
system?
weird.
Like, I don't know. I guess I'm old, but I don't see that as retro. That was when I was a senior in high school. It's like, that's not retro. Retro is like 2D only.
The Sega Dreamcast is 7, Sega Saturn's 8, Game Boy's 9, and the Game Boy Advance is 10. So there you go.
Saturn made the list, huh?
Right?
That surprises me.
The Sega
There was about 17 people that owned that system.
I
Yeah.
knew one person that owned it.
I always wanted it though. It was like always so mythical to me.
It was one of those things that was sold as the ultimate end all of consoles at the time. you
Yeah,
know?
like the Jaguar.
yeah,
Back in the Genesis days.
Exactly.
Jaguar.
The Atari Jaguar. The what was it? The Saturn said it had like 3 processors and,
Yeah,
and 2
something.
sound processors.
Even the
and-
memory cards you could play games on.
Yeah, that was the Dreamcast.
That was Dreamcast.
I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Anyway, the Saturn was so hard to develop for and so expensive that it just kind of tanked pretty quick.
Oh.
Pretty quick. All right, let's talk about Super Mario Run.
Sweet.
Hey,
Me and you have been playing it.
I can't.
you being me, Jarron.
Yeah, Jarron. So what do you think about it, man?
It's so hard. I've gone back and forth between loving it and hating it so many times. What do you think, James?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about best and worst of 2016. Spoiler alert: the worst of 2016 to me was Pokemon Go
You're the worst.
because I only played it for like the first month.
No
before
Man's
it had all
Sky didn't
those-
hit that list.
I
for
never played it.
Oh, okay.
I never played it. Super Mario Run is kind of a big letdown, but it's kind of not at the same time.
Exactly. It's so hard to classify. Like, I wanted it to be like a full-on console
I
quality
wanted it to be
game.
a Mario.
Yeah,
But-
it is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Jaron, you do this with everything you buy, though.
No,
I,
he's-
I hate this. Oh, I love this today. Tomorrow,
But
I hate this.
he's conflicted though because I don't think he actually meant to buy it. I thought he was playing it free.
That's
got
true.
to the 3rd level and it charged him, and he was like, "Ah, I bought it now."
I'd
So
say
now I have to love it.
I just went
Yeah.
ahead and bought it. I knew I was going to buy it anyway. And bought
Yeah.
it.
if you ask me, that's the biggest problem that the Mario Run has is it's $10. It should be a
$5.
It should be
Yeah.
a $5
$5
game.
But
Yeah.
but the thing is like you should be able. There should be competitive play without needing to pay to play kind of thing to collect the tickets. I mean, technically you don't. It's one of those things that generally you get about 5 tickets a day, ish, give or take a little bit. But like that's the only way to like competitive play to get toads, which is
Yeah,
like, the
I
thing
don't
that you
understand
win.
why they require tickets to play online. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's dumb.
so you get Toad tickets by like completing the single player levels, or like you
Yeah.
said, just
They have updated it to where you do have a friends list that you can connect through your Twitter or Facebook accounts, or you could just give out your gamer number. But the thing is like you can play them like once per day, and you don't get anything for beating their run.
yeah.
And it doesn't really define when they pick your run either, like the run through the level. But
Right.
I don't know. So like overall score, it's out of 10, I give it a solid 3.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not an average game. It's a way below average game.
Yeah, I'll say if you give it a 3.
Is that because of the cost, you think, or the gameplay?
Well, it's a little bit of the redeeming factors of this game. Maybe I should talk about like what the good things are. Is it has the Nintendo feel to it?
Yeah.
Like it looks like a Nintendo game. Nothing in it is janky. Nothing in it looks non-polished. It's and the sound design is great. I mean, it sounds like a Mario game, but that's about it.
Oh
Like
yeah, Mario time.
the gameplay is. I mean, it's good, but I mean, it's nothing to brag about.
Yeah, that's my main complaint. I wanted like I said, a full on console game. It's definitely a mobile game.
As I play it on my iPad, I find myself half the time saying, I want to run backwards. I just want to run the other way. I missed a coin. Let me go back and get it.
Yeah, that's the worst. There's not a ton of levels. I was hoping it was going to be like Super Mario Brothers 3, where it's like you had different worlds.
I know. I was
themed
hoping you could
worlds.
progress to different worlds and go through the path or whatever. But it's just you pick a level and you play it. That's
is it just sandbox, so it's never ending? There's no winning the game.
I thought for
No,
some
you can
reason
you can finish the levels and
yeah,
win the game.
for
Yeah.
first player there is. For multiplayer, it just keeps on
After you
going
pay
and going
$10.
until the time runs out.
Yeah, you can play like the first 3 levels, but you can't even beat the first world unless you pay $10.
Right.
I don't know. It has some cool throwbacks to Mario Brothers 1 and 3 in it, but like, I don't know. 3 out of 10 is I'm not going to raise it. And on top of that, I thought for some reason your friends could build levels like Super Mario Maker, and you could share those worlds with your friends, which would be awesome, but they don't do that.
No, you can't do that.
So pretty much every mobile game I've ever played, I've never really liked. But this one, it's actually held my attention more than others. Maybe just because I paid a lot. But I would give it
You got to get your money's worth.
probably a 6. Like
Above average?
I barely like it.
Yeah, if this is the direction in which Nintendo's going to take their mobile games, I'm not on board. Like I didn't like Pokemon Go at all after the first day and a half.
See, you need to get back into it. I'm gonna re-review Pokemon Go in my best of.
See, I hope that, I mean, it'd be cool if they continue down this path. Whatever, it's not for me. But I want like classic Mario games. Give me
Right.
the bottom half of the
Yeah.
screen is the controls.
Yeah, but even then, think about it. Touch controls blow.
They don't
They
have
are-
to.
Give me the option.
Show me a game that has a D-pad and an A and a B on touch controls that
Do you know
doesn't blow.
what game actually
Nope.
had really good touch controls?
Doesn't exist.
Nope, too
Dead
slow.
Space on iOS. It actually had good touch
Dead
controls.
Space on iOS was a rail shooter, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. You could actually walk around. It came out like 5-6 years ago, though, but it wasn't that bad.
I
but
played Doom. Doom wasn't
The
bad.
problem is with Mario games, you need very precise, very
Immediate
You got to
response.
have basically. You can't be looking at your controller wondering if you're hitting the right spot on the screen for A.
But-
it has to be pure feel. You can't get that.
Maybe
with
There's
a
there's
touch
more
screen.
ways to do that than virtual buttons. I mean, the whole left of the screen could be a D-pad. The whole right of the screen could just be your single
Well,
action
and,
button.
and you're also talking about the company that's coming out with the Switch that has,
Physical controllers
on the
to
side.
bolt onto the side of it.
I mean, give me a case. I don't care if the case is $60.
See, that'd
Like,
be
give me
something
a
different
case.
if they sold a case, but that's hard because you have so many different models of smartphones out there.
well,
you know.
Everybody just has an iPhone.
What-
And
what makes
everybody-
me sad about
that's-
this?
Nope.
What makes me sad about this is I want my phone to feel like a game machine. It still doesn't. If Nintendo can't do it, I don't think anyone can.
Oh,
No,
Nintendo
I think
will get
that's
around to it.
I think that's you're making Nintendo sound better than they actually are because they are so stuck in their ways that it'll be a while.
But
Stuck
you're
in
also
their, stuck
you're
in their
talking
ways.
about
They
the-
just put out a full-on mobile game.
and you're talking about
they
the company
did.
that
After how many
pioneered
years?
motion controls and all that fun stuff. I don't see this as a company that's stuck in their ways at all.
I agree.
I see this as the innovative company that maybe is a little too ahead of their time.
I agree. And if Nintendo
just-
can't do it, I don't think anyone
No,
can.
they just move slower than other. They're not
That's
as
the thing.
They,
They
they're not as
move
in
slow.
what way do they move slow? Because they were the
In-
first ones to come out with the glove.
True.
And that was way ahead of their time.
Yeah, but then that was it for like.
After that,
At-
it was straight
like-
regular controllers for the next 3 generations.
The thing is, the Wii was it was different than the other consoles,
Yeah.
but it was a fresh idea. Wii U was a fresh idea. It wasn't necessarily a good idea.
Right, but now it's been how long? I mean, how long
They-
has the Wii? What's
I-
the Wii U been out for?
They
Like-
innovate in their consoles,
right.
but stepping outside of the console box, it took them how many years to get an app? You know, Miitomo was their first app, and it was not that good. And then Pokemon
'cause
Go,
they're-
you can't even say they did Pokemon Go because that was Niantic. They paid someone to do it.
They're very cautious probably to a fault, but they really want to put out a good product. I think.
I think so too, but I don't think that. I don't think you're ever going to get what you want out of a touchscreen game.
I know, and that
Which is
makes
kinda,
me sad.
Which
Yeah.
is kind of sad because if you think about it, like Pokemon, just like the original Pokemon, like Red.
That game would be fine on a touchscreen because you don't need to have
Yeah.
precise timing and things.
give me
on your
Pokemon Blue,
controllers.
guys. Come on, give it.
But
I want it. Give it.
anyway, I've only played it for about an hour on my iPad. I'd give it a 5 average, but it could go. It would be a higher score if it was $5. If it was $5, I'd probably say it's worth a 6.5. But for $10, you're not doing it for me.
You have so many people though that are like getting this for their kids though, because like you have such strong nostalgic memories growing up with this game.
Oh,
and,
I'm-
they're like, and their kids,
Yeah.
like, can I get this? What
Nintendo's
is
going to
it?"
make a buttload of money
Oh,
on
yeah.
it for sure.
To me, it's just a
And
pooping game.
I hope it leads to them.
I did hear you play it while you were pooping.
Yep.
I hope it leads to them making more and more mobile games
Yeah.
and changing up how they do it and changing up the game styles that they use for mobile games.
Apparently,
too.
story I read, they're planning on putting out 3 mobile games a year because of the success of Super
Wasn't
Mario.
it like
think that's
40
great.
million downloads or something like
50.
that? 50. More than Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
That's not purchases though. That's just downloads.
that's just
Yeah.
downloads. So anyway, yeah, Super Mario Run. I don't know. Maybe wait for it to go on sale. Or if they added a bunch more content. If they had
Right.
like 5 new worlds for $10, that'd be worth it.
But speaking of like iPhones and expensive like $10 apps, did you guys see the Donald Trump iPhone that just barely got released? The
gold?
Did he
the
actually-
gold iPhone.
Did he actually endorse this, or are they just using
I don't
his
think
name?
he endorsed
because,
it because the person who developed it is going to give it to him at his inauguration.
Oh, jeez.
It is a
That's gonna look
$151,000, and there was more than one made.
Oh man, this is encrusted in diamonds.
As of when I
this
read
is
this,
just where our country is going now.
yeah, as of when I read this, I think like 7 of them were sold or something like that. But this is for like the uber rich people that like. Apparently, the way that they described it is it's like a niche gift that you get for people that literally have everything.
Right.
And you have to have everything if you're willing to give a gift like
Well,
this.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's from a company
$151,000.
it's in a company in Dubai.
Right.
Secret Service, Homeland Security is not on this phone in the front door. They're like, no.
Yeah, have you played
It's a Trojan horse.
Grand Theft Auto 5? Okay.
They'll let it in, but they won't let them turn it on.
Yeah, the Trojan horse.
know.
They're just going to put it behind like a.
Be like, here's-
oh look, here we're.
Put it
This
in a
is
lead
neat.
box that's
Yeah.
covered in copper. And,
Yep.
But anyway, I
Faraday
just thought that was
cage.
funny. It's $151,000.
And the funny thing is too about them using his likeness, using Trump's likeness, is you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that political figures are completely fair game for usage
Yeah, they are.
on stuff
That's
like
why
that.
you see so many presidents getting made fun of.
Yeah. So they can use Trump on there, and he can't say, you can't use my likeness. That's copyrighted by me or whatever. He's a political figure now, so you can do it.
Yeah.
I want to hear from Owen.
Yeah, Owen?
What do you want to hear from me?
Tell us about your solar.
Yeah, that's on my.
Let's
that's
go
on
into
my
that.
That's
Let's
on my
do
best of worst of.
best of worst
Oh,
of.
that's your worst?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are
I'm
we going
sorry.
to do best of worst of?
We're gonna do best of worst of next.
Owen's just been so quiet. I wanted to hear
There's
from
going
him.
to be, I think, are we doing 3 of each? Does that sound good?
What do you mean, 3 of each?
3 best of, 3 worst of from each person?
I
have two.
I have 2.
2 of each.
I'm going to try to make it up as we go.
So, well, one thing talking about solar, actually, I did have one story I wanted to bring up. So, I like solar. I like the idea of solar. I like the idea that the sun's been providing power for us forever, and we were just too stupid to figure that out and emulate
What?
or technologically challenged. I guess we didn't have a good way to. Anyway, so I like solar. I'm a big proponent of it. If you can get it, go for it. While the tax breaks still last before the policies all change in the U.S. here. But there is something cool. Have you guys? So there's tons of innovative ways to get solar. Have you guys have heard of solar shingles from?
Yeah, that's what we're
Tesla.
going to get.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish that I did that. They're so cool.
And
Except
they're
they won't
cheap.
be out for years.
They're not going to be
That's
viable
fine. I'll
for a
wait.
few years, and they do have a slightly reduced
Capacity.
just efficiency.
yeah, efficiency, that's the word.
because they're not angled towards the sun.
Right.
I don't care.
But when you
But
have
the whole
but
roof
when-
is
but
solar,
exactly.
though.
But when you have 100% more of them than the other ones,
It makes
doesn't
up
really
for
matter. The other thing is they've been thinking about putting solar panels into glass on buildings. We've talked about that before in
Yeah.
the story. Well, in France, they're doing a test run of solar roads.
I saw this article.
Yeah. So they've decided to do a test run of solar roads to see if they're viable. Now, one of the biggest things that you worry about with solar is, am I getting the right capacity, right? There's 2 things that affect that. The angle it's towards the sun and your altitude. And there's more than one or more than 2, but the 2 big ones are, and then are they covered, obviously?
Right. You want
Well-
direct exposure.
Yeah. So this is a very cold town in France, and they're going to be putting on the road, and they've actually finished it, or they're going to finish it this next year. And it's driving on cold, wet, muddy roads. So and because they can't be angled, they're already at 15% efficiency. Which, if you get a rooftop solar, you're looking at 20% efficiency. That's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
And these are going to be 15 because of the angle plus whatever road, whatever gets on from the crap.
I saw the picture of it. I don't know if it was an actual picture of it or if it was
Just the concept.
Yeah,
Concept.
what does it look like?
It looks like cobblestone.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
So like glass bricks?
So
Yeah, exactly.
the thing is, this is meant to go over existing roadway,
oh.
which poses another problem. You better have a pretty perfect road, because
Yeah.
if you throw this over like
You just patching
any road
garbage.
in the U.S., I mean, it's going to look like crap. But this road, it goes over the top, is designed to go over the top and of existing road, which is cool. But the biggest hurdle is actually the price. So they're doing little over half a mile, and it's going to cost about 5.2 million pounds because this was in France.
You mean euros?
Euros? Yeah, euros.
So could a semi drive over this without destroying it?
Yeah, they've tested them
Why
for
would
any
they
weight limit.
do it in roads though? Like I understand.
They
like,
just they assume that that's the most available.
It's already
flat
there. It's flat.
infrastructure to upgrade.
I don't know. I would just like offer it to buildings. Just say, hey, we're going to redo.
Oh, that's
your
the
roof
first.
and
They want to
take
make
care of
a
it forever.
They want to make a world usable product, so not every place has. So they're thinking that this will. They want to try and make it power a small village out there or something. Pull a village
That would
off the
be cool.
grid, right?
The first comment I saw in the article that I was reading about it basically said, why don't they just raise it up and make it a roof for
Right.
the road? Put it up like 5 meters so
And
it's
then
tall
they can-
enough for everything.
Yeah.
And it'll be exposed to the sun all the time, and
Right.
no one will be blocking it by driving on it.
And it'll keep
It'll
the
probably be-
road nice and clean.
I wonder
'cause it
how
won't
much
rain on
I
it.
wonder how much cheaper or more expensive it would be if you did it that way.
I think that it will probably hold up better being on the roads. I mean, besides the cars driving over it, they won't have to worry about hurricanes or
Right.
decay or whatever.
That's true.
Somebody driving into one of the poles on
That's
the
what I
side of
was
the
just
road,
thinking
and,
of, yeah.
you know, knocking it down and ruining the whole thing. So, but I think of what I see on our roads, even after one snowstorm like we have today, like
Oh, yeah.
the color of the snow, like you see all the dirt and mud and like crap that just stays on the road, and you're
Yeah.
like, why not just throw a tarp over your solar panels and
Same thing.
take a poop on it?
Yeah. It's the poop that makes it
No,
worth it.
it's true though, because the other thing too is at least in northern Utah we use salt on the roads,
Yep.
and those solar panels would not hold up with
Nope.
salt being ground into them by
Nope.
every car that drove on
Or
it.
can you imagine a snowplow going down and you just see solar panels just flipping off like
Yeah.
playing
Well,
cards?
Just imagine like a company that has the shingles like Tesla does, and they come to you and they say, hey, we're going to give you a new roof and we're going to keep it up forever, but we're going to take the energy, but you never have to worry about your roof.
Yeah,
I would sign that contract in a heartbeat.
that's
Well-
that's the power buyback or the power purchasing program where you like in Utah they don't do that. I wish they did, but here, you know, if you do solar, you own the panels, you own the power, and anything extra gets put on the grid.
Do you ever think you're going to get a battery?
Yes, I want to. Not in this house, but I want to. I'm looking at the Tesla power walls.
Yeah.
Those look pretty awesome.
Is that
neat.
required for the shingles? Do you have to have an in-house battery?
I don't know. Tesla has. If you haven't read Tesla's like manifesto, his like phased manifesto of how he wants to basically get people to Mars, you should do that. It talks about that, but
Solar power roofs
That
are a
didn't-
part of
that's
that.
it, yeah. Solar
Really?
powered roofs, infrastructure, and vehicles are all part of that weird craziness that is Elon Musk. But yeah, I don't know if it's required, but I know they highly suggest they are going to be pushing it highly.
I want to know you guys' opinion.
No.
And I want to hear from all you guys.
No, you can't have my
Evil
opinion.
genius or brave futurist hero?
I can't decide. Daily.
What is
It's too
Elon
soon.
Musk?
It's too soon to tell.
No, as of right now, what do you think?
Brave future hero. Future
crazy?
What's the word I'm looking
Crazy
for?
future hero.
Brave future hero.
He's a crazy future
What do
hero.
you think, Jarron?
I like him. I want to be him.
I know. I see his face, and when I see him smile, it just makes me smile.
I mean, then there's the
he's-
comments where he says that we're living in somebody else's AI like
Well,
dream. So
Neil deGrasse Tyson also says there's
Yeah.
at least a 50-50 chance
Yeah.
that we live in a virtual simulation.
You know, if that's the case, I'm fine with it.
yeah, it's like, well, I
Yeah.
don't know any better. So,
Like that guy. I kind of sided with
guy
what's
on
his
the
name?
Matrix,
Cypher?
Yeah,
Cypher.
I totally
Ignorance is bliss.
Exactly.
it really is.
Yeah, I don't know any better. They're sure doing a good job. Chicken
Steak.
tastes like chicken.
Steak still steak.
All right. So, what do we got with? Was that your best?
That was just a story on the side. about
He
solar.
slipped it in
I wanted,
there.
I wanted
Wow,
to, because
this
I wanted
guy.
because I wanted to bring that into my worst stuff, which was my solar install.
Okay.
That was so you
Is
know
it still bad?
no. It was the product is fantastic. The panels are working optimally. It was just the whole process of doing it was like the worst thing I've gone through ever.
Huge.
And he's
hassle.
had 3 kids.
Can you give us super fast cliff notes of what went down for people that didn't hear that story?
So you know, I started with getting approached on the street. Vivint got sold there, and I didn't like the customer service and a couple other things that went really bad with them, and switched over because a buddy of mine had a buddy that knew a buddy and got.
Sounds shady.
Anyway, went with a company called Greenify. They work on a whole house option where they improve the efficiency of your entire house to reduce the amount of panels that you'll get on your roof, therefore lowering your overall
Installation
because
cost?
it's cheaper to get the stuff inside your house done than it is to throw more panels up on top.
Right.
If that makes sense. Vivint was just willing to give me a straight across. They looked at my usage on Rocky Mountain Power and said, okay, here's the system you need, and that would have worked. I kind of went on a gamble with Greenify because they say, with what we're doing in your house, it's going to reduce your cost by 25%, so we're giving you this system. That's kind of a gamble because I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But we had just thing after thing. We had to get a new roof right at the end, and then they chose some roof guy just decided to give us a different color shingles, and my wife flipped out, and I had to keep taking time off work, and a guy fell off our roof, and I mean, it was.
Did he break something?
He broke both of his legs. He shattered
man.
both
Were
of
you
his
there
legs.
when that happened?
No, neither was my wife. She had just taken the kids to go to school, but
Holy crap!
Did he call the ambulance or something?
yeah, apparently they took him in a truck. They loaded him up in a truck and took him.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Hold his legs.
Can you still shingle? No. Okay, I'll take you off.
I'll get in the bed of the truck.
I looked for a divot on the ground, but I didn't find one.
like a human
Well,
crater.
yeah, 'cause we were looking for 2 divots.
Yeah.
Wow, OSHA
And
could shut-
yeah.
OSHA could shut down that company.
So, but and then it just was like thing after thing. I signed up in it was like the beginning of August, and I was like, awesome, I'll be able to get, because with the way that this works is that I'm not getting rid of my power bill, I'm exchanging it for a solar bill. So my solar power is supposed to create enough solar power to
Power your whole house.
Yeah, and then anything extra you make during the winter, like now when I have snow on my panels, I'm not producing anything. I was supposed to have that buffer because anything you make over what you need goes onto the grid at a 1-to-1 rate here in Utah, so you can have that power back during the winter.
Like a power credit.
Exactly.
Kind of.
And so I was like, okay, it's the end of August. I'm betting we'll have an Indian summer going to the fall with getting good solar. And then it took until like the end of September, even in October, before I got my solar even turned on. And so I am nervous. Luckily, they have a 2-month offset where they don't charge you. Your solar bill doesn't come in for 2 months. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll float through the winter without having to have a solar bill and a power bill because I didn't have any credits built up. So it was, it's not all as quick as the salesman says it. They're like, oh, we're gonna get you solar and you're gonna be good and you're gonna be happy and blah.
We'll have you ready and going in a week.
The process was a lot more painful than I thought, and it was kind of the worst.
So looking back on it, would you do it again?
Yes, I would involve more people that have
Seriously?
done it. Yeah, I would have involved more people that would have done it.
So if we want to do it, we call you.
Yes, I've got the answers. Or, listeners, if you want questions about what you might want to expect going into solar, let me know.
You can email us at thegadgetspotcast@gmail.com.
So that was my worst of. That
Okay.
was the worst one I can think of. But my best of was my UDS Smoker. It's kind of a gadget, and I put that. I built it myself.
You built it yourself.
Myself, because I was thinking of the smell of the smoking meat. But UDS stands for Ugly Drum Smoker, for those of you that don't know. And
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that.
No,
So
that's
you
neat.
go. It's where you go get a 55-gallon drum, and most people think of a smoker like you cut the side of the drum open, you making it like this hinged. The UDS model, the UDS Smoker, is a vertical smoker, so it's more efficient because the smoke comes from the bottom and rises up. You don't have to try and get it to cross across your meat. Anyway, the whole build with all the parts and everything was about $200. I've used it 3 times now, and it's the most glorious food I've ever eaten. And
So, do you have to? Did you try to go like more automated style so it self feeds?
I'm
going to
be doing
wood. Or
so the way you do that is you actually use charcoal down the bottom. And
Okay.
you build a charcoal basket where you pack in the wood and the charcoal together. So
Okay.
there's no so then once you light that, which there's different methods, and hit me up for any questions, guys.
Blowtorch.
But yeah, you get those charcoals going and you let it sit for about an hour a pound meat, and it's basically cooks itself.
Gadget spot party.
I'm thinking that we'll have to do a smoke.
yeah.
I think that I've done a turkey and I've done some pork shoulders, but we got to do some ribs, and I haven't tried those yet, and they are fantastic.
I love good ribs.
So anyway, it was the parts were pretty cheap. I found some really good stuff. If you don't know how to weld, and you have to do some air inlets and I found a place that does bulkheads. If you guys want to know any of that stuff, I've got a complete parts list that I have. So if you're ever interested in building an ugly drum smoker, you just have to get a 55-gallon food grade barrel. There, I got mine off it's a site here called KSL in Utah, but you can get them from anywhere if you look online for about
Craigslist.
$20.
Or you could maybe go to a restaurant, ask for free barrels.
The buckets, maybe.
Yeah, that's the real question. How did the buckets turn out?
So I used the buckets were for brining my turkey this year.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Oh, you used them.
Yeah, so I used it. It worked out great.
How did the smoked turkey turn out?
Less than optimal.
Oh,
It was my first one, and I thought for sure I didn't have enough time, and I thought for sure I was going to be able to find a fresh turkey. You know what I mean?
Not frozen?
Not frozen, and I did not. Fell for the classic blunder. And so if you do the bathtub mode of defrosting your turkey,
Right.
you actually have to put it in the oven like immediately after that.
Uh-huh.
Well, the smoker works on like a 12-hour cook time,
Right.
so that didn't work. So I had to thaw it as much as I could, then I had to overcook it in the smoker, and it ended up the dark meat was fantastic. Everything else was basically uneatable.
Oh,
That sounds so
Inedible-
tasty.
Inedible.
Nom, nom, nom,
did
nom.
you have a backup turkey or
Oh
something?
yeah, mine was the spare. Mine was
Okay.
just a trial.
So what city
Gotcha.
do you live in?
I'm up in Centerville.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
not bad.
up north. So
Word.
anyway,
Let's go.
So that's your
smoke
best
some meat.
of.
yeah. So we can do smoke. I can cook it and bring it down. And we
Yeah,
can,
that sounds
something-
good.
Something else. I don't know. Anyway, that was my best of. That's a kind of a tech.
Can we go to
gadget.
Jarron next?
Yeah,
Best of, worst of?
kind of a gadget.
I liked it.
You look excited to tell us what it is
No,
that you have.
we're not going to go to Jarron next.
Oh.
I make the decisions.
Oh, okay.
We're going to Jarron next.
Yeah!
Yeah, Jared.
All right. So Apple, they have been included on my best and worst of list. Let's do worst of first because that's more fun. Worst of, by a long shot, Apple TV. I hate that thing.
Really?
Do you have
Yeah,
one?
I do.
I have one too. I kind of like it.
Well, you don't have a 4K TV.
Nope.
So this last
Wow.
keynote, I was...
Yeah, that was pretty.
Jarron
pretty
has
harsh,
money,
wasn't
guys.
it? Well, you don't have a 4K television.
Hey, you have a 4K TV too.
Because I have money.
Did you just?
And so does Owen.
Instant karma.
I don't have money.
He got
yeah.
the first
He
gen.
has-
He got the first gen Vizio M,
Yeah.
which was 1080.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We deduced like
Bad
4
life
episodes
choices.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. But I'm glad you guys helped me find it out. That TV looks good and it's 65 inches. Let's get it. That was how that.
Yeah,
that's how that purchase went.
That's an American consumer attitude right
Yeah.
there.
Dude, TVs
Guilty.
are like if there was like if that was like in the dictionary of like American consumerism, a TV would be the picture. That is
Agreed.
110%. All right.
All right, so Apple TV. They are so slow in updating their products, it's frustrating. Things that I hate about it, number one, it doesn't have an Amazon app. Two, it doesn't have a Vudu app. And that's because of Apple's terrible policies about
has a
third
Plex
party.
app. Has a Plex app now.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I had Plex app from day one,
Oh
actually.
yeah.
But they don't either A, allow Amazon into the App Store, or B, they don't give Amazon enough money to let them be in the App Store. So pretty much, I'm saying this very terribly.
Yeah. Get to the
Yeah.
point.
I'm so flustered, I can't talk, you know?
He's so angry at
So-
Apple.
it was
Is it a
so
matter
bad.
of time before Amazon gets on there, do you think? Or do you think
Nah.
they're
Nah,
never...
it would have done it by now if they were going
Yeah.
to. Amazon already made their own ecosystem with their own video playback devices.
Yeah, so
they
like
don't care now.
Apple requires a cut of any profits, you know, if you rent a movie from Amazon, then
So what's one device that has everything?
There isn't one.
there isn't one.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
what happened.
what's the minimum number of devices that you need to have everything?
2.
Two.
And what would it be?
Apple TV and an Xbox.
Yep.
Oh, cool. All right.
Or PlayStation.
No.
Boom.
Just Xbox.
Yeah.
I
So
have an Xbox.
4K TVs, they've really gone mainstream this year. So you would think that Apple.
I
would
bought one, and I know
You
it's a 4K
think
one.
that Apple wanted to get ahead of that, put out a TV device that supports 4K, but no. Instead, this year all they did was release a terrible app for the Apple TV that aggregates a bunch of different streaming services into one app, and it's the worst because it doesn't even include Netflix, which is the
Doesn't
biggest.
include Netflix.
No, it's the biggest streaming service out there.
It
doesn't include Netflix.
Search across Netflix's
Seems like a
catalog.
mistake.
I'm just waiting for the one Apple conference where the dude actually has a pocket full of glitter, and every like big announcement, he's like, "Glitter, Netflix is now available because we revolutionized the
Yeah.
market. Glitter."
Well, Netflix is on there. It just doesn't integrate with the app.
And what's the point?
I know. Why did they release the app if it doesn't include the biggest
that's like
streaming
saying
service
we
out
put
there?
a phone on here, but
Yeah.
nobody uses the number 0, so we're going to leave you can get to it, but it's outside of the phone app.
They tried to kind of tout it as a universal search option for Apple TV where you can search here and find what you want over whatever.
Maybe it was Netflix that was like,
But-
we don't need you.
But
that-
it's not universal.
Yeah, that and the search already existed in another location on the Apple TV. But all the app does is integrate streaming services. You click on what you want to watch, and then it kicks you out to the app to actually
Yeah,
watch
it doesn't even do it within
doesn't
that
even-
app.
oh.
No, it doesn't even do it within the app. So,
So it
it's
just runs 2 apps
completely
on your
worthless.
device, taking
And then
up
they
more resources.
completely redid the remote button on it, so your home button now goes to that app. I haven't really looked into it. You
Dumb.
can change it in settings, but it's why are they doing that?
Do you think like when they're making it, the people are like patting themselves on the back, like this is awesome?
Are you
or do you
kidding
think
me?
they know?
Of course
like,
they are.
It's Apple.
Or do you think it's like this is stupid? Why are we doing that?
That's how they start every conference.
I'm not talking about the conference. I'm talking
No,
about
I'm
like
just
the
saying,
developers.
As,
Like
an,
on the
as an
inside.
example, that's how. I mean, you think it happens. If it happens up there in front of everyone, you better believe it happens behind the scenes.
I don't know.
I
just
don't know.
because
There's got to be somebody that's like, this is so stupid.
Yeah, but they won't say anything.
Oh,
They-
no.
they all
They're
drink their own
like- yeah,
Kool-Aid.
yeah, they're like-
and so this happens at Google. I read an article specifically about that happening at Google recently. I'm sure it happens at Apple. I'm sure it happens at Microsoft.
what was the
all of these companies? They
like the smell of their own farts.
exactly.
Do you
That's
guys-
the perfect way of
Do you
saying.
guys
it.
remember the kid in high school that got the Zoom instead of the iPod that
Yeah.
everybody was getting?
Yep.
And he had to
My
present
brother has
it
a
and
Zoom.
make
He
it
still has a
really
Zoom.
cool. He's like, look at this Zoom. It's so durable.
It's a
Zune.
Zune. There's
I don't
it's
care.
an N.
Zune.
Zoom.
No,
So the
Zoom.
Zoom. The Zoom is so good.
Oh, jeez.
That's like now how I kind of see some of these Apple press conferences. Like, look at this. It's so cool.
It's
And-
going to be cool because we said it's
It has
cool.
a touch bar. We feel like giving
I'm
you
getting
the
to
whole
that.
screen
I'm
was
getting
too
to the
much.
touch bar.
Okay.
But
Too much.
still on the Apple TV. And
Apple TV.
why it affects me so personally, I have hundreds of iTunes movies. I've made bad decisions.
Almost.
I don't know why.
300.
Yeah.
I have access to them as well because we're on a family share thing
Yeah.
for Apple Music, and I go in there and I think, oh, I look every week. Jaron bought a couple new movies. All right.
Why?
I'm locked into that ecosystem. I'm never leaving because I have so many movies there.
Why?
I made bad life choices, okay?
I have
Let's convert them out.
five.
Let's convert them
And
out and
The Apple TV, it
fix you up.
is such a missed opportunity. When they released it, I was
There it is.
Let's talk about the good
not
things.
even- we're not
what
even
are the
having
good
to
things in your life.
We don't have to provoke Jaron
could
on this
be-
one.
Apple did that for us.
it could be a game console, you know? They kind of advertised it as such when they first released it.
Look, we got Crossy Street, guys.
I thought indie devs would flock to it, you know, release stuff,
Nothing.
but their stupid policies is preventing it from being a good
Yep.
game console too, because they only allow a 200 megabyte app on there with some like weird rules to try to get around it. Like the app has to be in cloud storage and you have to like download it, so a full on app can't be on there. And so when I first got it, I'm like, this is going to be fun. I got a third party remote so I could play games with it, but no, nothing's happened with it. I touched that third party remote once.
Poor life choices indeed.
It was a waste of a Christmas gift. Oh man, Apple TV was technically released last year, but I'm so frustrated with it. It's included on this year's list as well.
Well, because of the software updates as well.
Yeah.
So that's how you sneak that in.
Yep. Second worst is the new MacBook Pros.
Oh, Apple made the list twice.
Look
I've
how many movies I have, and half.
You
these are
have
like
one of them
demos.
twice.
Well,
Oh, that's a clip.
yeah.
Okay.
And this is a clip.
You have 5. 6.
One,
Those are
two,
not-
three. Wait, no, this is a clip. 2. These 2.
anyway,
this one.
the new MacBook Pros. I've
3.
never felt so meh about a new product that they've released.
It's the first MacBook Pro that Consumer Reports does not recommend
But do you know why?
because it sucks.
No,
It's
The
the battery.
battery.
So inconsistent.
But they are apparently touching bases with Consumer Reports to figure out what, because apparently they read the tests.
pay you guys so they give us a better review?
you-
Well,
Can you
because
change that?
the last time that happened, it was
we
the
give you a free one?
iPhone 4, right? With the
Yeah.
reception.
But the new MacBook Pros, they put so much effort into the touch bar, and I just don't think.
Big old turd bar is what it is.
How many
Uh,
people did they have to like get in bed with to make it so it worked across all those
Oh,
apps?
yeah.
Like,
Six.
they had to
It's
just
6 people.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. I just
all at the
think
same time.
oh
the touch bar is not a bad thing. It could be useful, but there's just so many better things they could have done with their laptop than that.
Did you see somebody play Doom on the bar?
Oh my gosh, what a waste!
Yeah.
What they should have just done, honestly, if you ask me, is touchscreen. Just make the whole thing.
Yeah,
touchscreen.
touchscreen.
But that would be they blatantly copy a lot of other things, but try to put their own spin on it. But it's like, how do we put touchscreen as our own spin? Well, we can't. It's just too generic.
Tim Cook says that you would have to redo the whole UI to put a touchscreen on there, but
BS.
I disagree. Keep the UI the same, and for the few apps that would benefit from a touchscreen, because not all of them would,
the app creator can change the UI within the app.
Exactly, and I think that'd be a better experience.
That's BS.
than the touch bar. What they should have done, just made a better laptop with current processors, better graphics card, and focus on battery life. Because that's what people want, battery life.
It's getting to the point where why does it need to be thinner? It doesn't need to be any thinner or lighter. It's fine. Increase the power and the battery life. Come on.
It gets to a point where I don't want it any thinner because I feel like I'm going to break it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And as much as I like the aluminum case, like, look at that. I dropped a GoPro on it from like a foot, and it dented it.
Plastic doesn't dent.
Now it looks like I'm a poor person.
I was just looking at that, being like, I bet he dropped something like a screwdriver or something.
See?
It looks like a
I don't know. I'd take
divot.
I'd take a dent over shattering plastic personally, but that's just me.
It would have just bounced off from a foot away. A GoPro wouldn't have shattered that.
So moving on to my best, AirPods. So Apple also made my best list.
Well, this is weird.
Yeah. I love my AirPods. I already talked about that earlier. So moving on, Vizio P-Series. I love that TV.
I want to get that TV.
It is a really pretty
Yeah.
TV the one time I came over to your house.
And generally HDR.
In general, you mean?
Generally HDR, in general.
Ah.
Yes. That's awesome new tech, and not like 3D. It actually benefits you.
Indeed.
Yep.
I look forward to the day when I get a HDR television. Maybe next year.
Yep.
Why didn't you get one this year?
I just
Price needs to.
yeah.
You dropped,
I just nothing jumped out at me as needing it right now. First of all, content wise, and second of all, something new is going to come out next year. So
Yeah, there's always going to be better stuff.
I know. So I just got to decide when I want to get that one. I figured I could wait another year.
Fast stuff.
And Uncharted 4, just had to sneak that in there.
Oh yeah, sure you
Best
did.
game ever!
What is it? What'd you say?
Uncharted 4.
Uncharted 4.
I beat it the other day.
Oh.
Oh, it's so good.
I do want to play that one of these days. Okay, I'm gonna do mine. I'm focusing on games. Why are you looking at me like that, James?
I usually go after Jarron.
I know.
And hold on, let me give mine. I don't really have any. 26. Oh, just go. I'll go after.
That
you.
was ridiculous.
No, I got.
I'm
a
gonna
couple.
throw this jelly belly
Lame.
right at you. So I was focusing, going to focus mainly on games. So top two best of for me. This is all personal preference, obviously. My top two favorite games of 2016: Doom, because that game was amazing.
Really? You haven't talked
So
about Doom
fun.
at all.
I really,
Yeah,
really.
the only time that I've ever heard you talk about Doom is how it
I
interacts
reviewed
with
it.
HDR.
I reviewed it.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, I don't remember it either. I don't
Doom
think
is
it happened.
Doom is fan-dang-tastic. The level, what's it called? Level design, the graphics, the gameplay, everything about it just comes together in a fantastic, slightly retro shooter styled package.
Plus, then when you switched it over to your new graphics cards,
Oh yeah,
it looked amazing.
it looks so good and it runs so well. It was one of the first games to come out this year that just ran really well across all platforms. And that's a testament to id actually still working hard on their technology and bringing in quality developers to make it run good on every platform.
Good for them.
Run well.
Your next
Run
one
well.
can't be Witcher 3 because that came out last year.
That came out last year. I was thinking about doing Blood and Wine, their DLC, because that was the best expansion content I've played in years. So
Speaking of that, did you ever play their? They announced their
Gwent.
Gwent.
Yeah,
Did
I'm in the beta for that.
Me too.
And I play it once in a while. I never really got into the card game within the actual Witcher
Right.
game, but it is pretty cool.
I
And-
haven't
and,
played the game at all. I haven't played Witcher at all. So the Gwent was pretty interesting.
Yeah, each update they do as well improves it quite
Yeah.
a bit.
Right.
From a gameplay perspective, I can see myself wasting a pretty decent amount of time on that.
Yeah.
On that game when it goes official. That's pretty fun, but I can't use that because it's not out yet.
Yeah.
And also I'm not a huge card game guy, but I make an exception for it because it's Witcher.
Yeah.
And Witcher is
Will you
everything.
guys teach me how to play that sometime? I
Oh,
tried
dude,
once,
Witcher's
and I
so
can't.
fun.
No, I'm talking about Gwent.
Oh, Gwent is pretty fun.
Really selling it.
And my number 2 game, I'm a shooter guy. Number 2 game is also going to be a shooter. Titanfall 2. Titanfall
great
2
game.
I love Titanfall.
is so dang fun.
It is fun.
You hit us up on the chat the other day, and we were like, Titanfall, and I was like, yeah, I can't.
It is just such a well-made. Graphically, it's good. It's not great, but it's smooth. It is a solid 60 frames per second on the Xbox all the time. The only time you see lag on that game is if it's internet based with your connection. I haven't got very far in the single player campaign, but both you guys beat it, didn't you?
I'm midway through.
You're midway through.
I beat it.
Finished
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
They had some really cool. Did you guys get to the time one where you
What?
have the wrist?
Don't tell
Yeah.
me.
Whoa,
Oh, yeah.
spoilers.
Oh, yeah. I beat the game.
He beat it.
Well,
We
that's
didn't.
all I'm going to say. But like those
That was
series,
pretty. That
There's
was
really
I
good
wanna
level
see
design.
A whole level. Yeah,
Yeah.
the level design is really good.
Right.
But I want to see a whole game based on that
I
concept.
I want to see that go into some sort of
The house
some sort
making
of-
level.
Oh yeah, that was
That
cool, too.
was.
So
And it makes me sad because Call of Duty still outsold it by
I know.
a ton.
And Battlefield 1 as well, which I haven't played that one yet. I've heard it's great, and I'm going to play it. I got it for Christmas.
I think
for my
Battlefield
computer.
deserves it. Call of Duty does not.
But it is really frustrating because Titanfall 2 is so fantastic, and it is just not getting the player base that it deserves.
Right.
So my recommendation is definitely go out and pick up Titanfall 2 and keep the multiplayer base alive because it is so fun. The controls are so tight. The
Tight like a tiger.
The gameplay is so tight. And if you love futuristic stuff, it doesn't get any
Yep.
better than that setting. Just fantastic game.
Have you guys noticed that the young coconut has inched closer and closer to Owen?
Yeah,
throughout the
he's
podcast?
got it right in front of him. So there's my two best of right there. You got Doom, fantastic single player experience, and Titanfall 2, fantastic multiplayer experience,
What are
and
the
also
worst?
a good single player experience. What?
What were the worst?
So I'm getting to my worst
Oh.
right now. And you know what? As a runner up, I'm actually going to throw Pokemon Go in there as well as
Really?
best.
I might get back. I might get back into that.
Only because of the updates they've released in the last 2 months. So now when you get on to play, every day you get a bonus 600 XP for the first Pokemon you catch and a bonus 600 XP for the first Pokestop you go to. So that means you can actually level your character up without having to play for an hour a day.
They had to find a way to unnerf what they did with
Exactly.
with level 21 when you hit like the impossible to level up after that.
So it's a lot of fun if you ask me to just get on and capture a couple Pokemon each day, hit up a Pokestop, and just waste a little bit of time.
And still progress.
And still progress.
Right.
You still have progress that you can see. You can go. I went from level 20 to level 21 in about
So
a month.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you go to
And-
gyms? Do you do any of the battles?
I don't do any of the battles
Then what's the point of leveling up your dudes?
because it's cool.
Okay,
Why not?
all
I
right.
want to be the very best, like no one ever
I'm
was.
gonna mute that.
Here
Here we go.
No, it says this is the best part of our podcast right here.
Nope.
I can't hear James.
Jeez. Channeling some Scott Stapp right there.
Who? Staff?
Creed.
Infection?
Scott Stapp.
Oh,
So anyway, I really enjoy the changes they made to Pokemon Go, and I think that they're headed in a really good direction. And pretty soon here, supposedly we're going to start seeing some of the stuff that was promised way early back with the Pokemon
it's
trading.
now Apple Watch.
And it is on Apple
integrated.
Watch.
Yeah.
So at some point we should see Pokemon trading. We should be seeing
Is
battling your friends, things like that. But that still hasn't come out.
is the Apple Watch pretty much the same thing that the Pokemon Go? What's
Yeah.
the little thing called?
Well, the
their
Apple Watch
watch?
version should have more
interactive
interactive content definitely than
Then their
their little Pokemon bracelet thing.
Didn't that thing
That
just vibrate pretty much? And that's it.
It vibrated when you were close to a Pokestop and you hit the button and it does the Pokestop automatically for you. And,
And it would automatically throw a ball.
it would double vibrate if a Pokemon is near that you could try and capture.
Wow, that sounds so
but the only thing is
limited.
you have like
It was
wasn't
what-
it like one attempt and it only throws a normal Pokemon?
Yeah, that's
well,
the
the big
problem.
thing is it kept the game open even when your phone went to sleep,
Oh,
so that you would
batteries
still,
suck.
so that you would still get. You could lock your screen, and because before you had to go with like you have the ability to, if you put your phone upside down, it would turn off the screen.
Yeah. Right.
But this thing would actually let the screen go completely asleep and keep the processes running, and you would actually still get the mileage and everything, even though the game was closed. So that was like the big draw for the price.
That's kind of cool. But anyway, all right, worst of. Number one worst game of the year, it's got to be No Man's Sky.
Oh, yeah.
You played it for 10 minutes.
I played it for an hour, and it might not even be the developer's specific fault that the game is so bad. It was the amount of unchecked expectations that the gaming community, the hype train ran out of control. And as a result, the game.
But they didn't do anything to quench it.
That's another factor.
Exactly.
They didn't really do anything to.
They should have
to
released
slow it
some
down.
demos or something to just let people.
And the fact that they charge $60, is like, So I would say that it wouldn't be on my list if it was a $25 game. If you could get the game for $20, I'd say it's probably worth it. But $60 for that, there's certain gameplay mechanics too that in my opinion, they need to change. Like the fact that you can you park your ship and then you run around on this planet, and if you get stuck somewhere, you can't just teleport back to your ship. You have to run back to your ship physically from where it was at least the last time I checked.
They had some more content.
They dropped the house building content, the base building.
Yeah.
And I heard that was pretty cool. And you know what? If Hello Games, is that who made it, I think? If they decide to keep building on it and make it better and make it, more like what it was hyped up to be, then it'll get off the list. I wanted to like that game a lot, but I ended up returning it after like an hour. So
and it's kind of interesting that they let you return it.
Well, Steam's had a return policy for
really?
over a year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's fairly new. I think it's only been there for about 18 months, but with Steam, if you have a game and it's less than 2 weeks since you bought it and you've played it for less than like 5 hours, you can return it. So
that makes the single player component. My brain just turned off.
Okay.
Wow.
Toast? Somebody make a toast?
This is what happens when you podcast in the morning and not at night.
Right?
It's rough.
Guys, if this is the first time you've tuned into this, it's so much better if you do it in the evening. Record.
Listen to
When
James'
we
voice.
record.
James' voice sounds basically normal now.
It's getting better for sure.
See? Told you I'm not sick.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And then number 2 worst game for me this year was probably it's hard to decide because I don't want to say Super Mario Run was my least favorite game of the year, but
there's worse than that. Come on,
there is. It's hard because No Man's Sky just kind of sticks out as easily, in my opinion, the worst. I don't know. I'm gonna go with No Man's Sky, and you know what? I'm gonna go with Pokemon Go when it launched. When Pokemon Go launched,
that was a nightmare.
It qualifies as worst game of the year because of all the server outages and everything like that. Now I quite enjoy it with all the updates and everything.
Yeah.
But definitely, if you remember back to how it was the first couple weeks after it launched, it was a big old crap stain.
Oh my gosh, how it would never keep you logged in.
Yeah, it was junk.
That was awful.
So yeah, Pokemon Go gets to make it on both ends of the spectrum there. Done. That's my best of worst
cool.
of.
I am almost done logging in to my big old Gmail password.
What the heck is that thing?
This is 1Password. It keeps all your passwords and it gives
I
you
love 1Password.
That
randomly-
password is like 27 characters long.
Yeah, it's
just gibberish.
It's the longest I could make my Gmail password.
Ooh.
It's secure.
That's awful.
The funny thing is I've always lived my life in a way that nobody's ever going to hack my stuff because I'm not important enough of a person to hack my stuff. But I figured I should probably change that because my brother-in-law's Netflix account got hacked. So, anywho, that's one of the best things that happened to me this year. I got a 1Password account. It's pretty amazing. I highly suggest it if you don't have it. Oh, look, it's Pokemon. Here, you can look through my account and just see how many Pokemon I have. Pokemon Go was one of the worst things to happen to me all year because I only played it for the first several weeks. I got super disappointed. I hacked the game. I did the thing where you can walk around wherever and catch whatever Pokemon you want. And
you have 1 million Bulbasaurs.
Yeah, through doing that, I got a bunch of different things. You should see how many Pokemon I have going to my Pokedex.
I'm in it right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
No, you're looking at my Pokemon. See how many Pokemon I have.
Pokedex. Yeah, I gotcha.
Best thing this year, we've had a lot of really good movies this year. Between Batman v Superman, I really like that one. I really like Suicide Squad. I really liked
I still haven't seen that one.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I liked it,
Don't go into it with like super high expectations. I mean, it's
don't
a
do
good
that.
movie,
but it's fun.
the thing is, like, these DC movies that people are like complaining on is like if these would have come out pre Iron Man 2008, these would have like revolutionized the
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
But like
But they
because
didn't.
because we have these Marvel movies that I really like them, but they are very cookie cutter movies. Like they have like
Disney.
This has to happen here. This has to happen here.
No,
this
I
has to happen here.
disagree. I think they're changing each Marvel movie up quite a bit.
Well, I mean, they have like a basic like
They have a formula
yeah, they have
Yeah.
a formula
for sure.
And given
I like the formula, but
Yeah.
it's there.
The formula is going to make more Star Wars movies for us too.
That's right.
Oh man.
So-
Oh, Rogue One was good.
Rogue One, and that was another really good thing that happened this year.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Fantastic Beasts, but I hear that it's really good.
I haven't either. I need to see that one.
After I saw it, I really liked it, but then as like days and weeks have gone by,
It's not memorable
It's
by
not.
any stretch.
Yeah.
Arrival was really good.
I liked Arrival.
Oh, I haven't
A
seen
lot
that
of the
yet.
entertainment stuff this year has been super on point. Like probably my favorite thing all year was Battlefield 1 to come out. That is my
I
number
need
one
to play
thing.
that one.
Entertainment wise. Other than that, I mean there was a lot of like really crappy things that happened in 2016 that everybody complains about, and I usually follow those trends. Other than that, I don't know. Not really anything to talk about. That was like awful. Nothing really stood out in 2016. That was terrible.
Speaking of 4K TVs that pretty much we all generally like, you guys. So we had that Facebook post. You guys remember that with Alan Jasper? He was asking about that. Yeah, maybe he can let us know what he thinks of his fantastic.
He said he's going to let us know.
Yeah.
He bought that nice LG 65-inch OLED.
Yeah,
that,
4K HDR,
that thing is
fantastically.
primo.
Oh man, I hadn't done a lot of research into it. So when you guys sent that over and we were talking about it,
Did you start
I
looking
started
into
looking.
it?
I was like,
Oh,
I
dude,
want
it's-
that so
It's
bad.
nice.
If you want to email us, what's our email, guys?
The Gadget Spotcast at gmail.com.
Yep.
If you forget where it is, go ahead and look at our Facebook page. And
Yeah.
I am currently making a new banner for it right now, so you can remember
You can
our
always-
awful email address.
You can always just message us on Facebook, too.
Yeah,
That's the same thing. Anyway, you have a lot of Pokemon there, James, and
it was all hacked. None
I-
of it's legit.
I understand
Don't
that.
feel super intimidated by me.
I'm not. I never have been.
not once in his life.
No, it's fine. I'm just right here.
Yeah, you are. All right. Anyone else have something else they wanted to add before we finish up 2016?
Playing Super Mario Run right now. I actually really like it now.
I'm
Knew it. Of course you do. Of
I'm adding
course.
one more to my best of.
Okay.
You know the jetpacks the Goblin's jet rider glider thing that we talked about
Yeah.
way early this year.
Yeah.
I'm adding that to the list.
You're adding the Goblin Glider to the list?
Yeah, the Goblin glider from what's that? Anyway, they were called the Wave. They did the jet skis Wave where you like hover with water,
Uh-huh.
and now they're running the jet turbine. And they released some more videos, so go look them up.
Is this the one that... This isn't the one that uses water. It uses air,
This
right?
is the one that uses jet turbines with jet fuel in the
Yeah.
backpack.
Those are
So-
freaking cool.
And the only one that basically can fly it or is stupid enough or qualified enough to fly it is the CEO of the company.
well,
the,
yeah.
the crazy adrenaline
It's your
junkie.
idea. You
So-
gotta try it.
The fire extinguisher that they have on the scene is not for show. It is legitimately the guy's like, if you get on fire, I will put you out. They also do all their tests over water, just in case.
Yeah, if you fall.
Yeah.
It's a
Or
lot
if it
better.
lights on fire, head towards the water
Or
deck.
that.
Yeah.
Just cut the power.
Yeah.
It'll
So,
cool you off.
anyway, I'm adding that to my best stuff.
Nice. Okay.
And updated the batter.
I think that is it. Next time, I haven't spent enough time with it, DirecTV Now, but next time I'm going to review it. Oh, we have one more bit of exciting
yes,
news
we do.
for you guys.
Tony and I are having a baby.
Going into next
Called
year.
it. Called it.
That's,
Owen, I called it.
Yeah, you
that
did.
was not for public news. That was for private news. The real one is Gadget Spot's going to CES.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, two of us are.
Half
Two
of
them.
Gadget Spot.
Half of them.
So
But
I
they
got-
said they'd bring back swag. Or
That's
I'd break
right.
their fingers.
I want a
Well,
pen.
you got it.
I want a pen.
I will bring you a pen.
I want a pen.
Jarron finally got his acceptance letter from CES.
They
I'm
let
legit.
you. They
What
let
took you
you
so
right
long?
in.
I don't know.
They let.
So they
Tony
let
right
me in within 10 minutes of applying because they recognized my level of awesomeness. Or apparently, for some reason, I'm an alumni. I don't know why.
Even though he's never
No.
been.
I've never been to CES. The only thing I could think of is I got accepted to E3 back in like 2001.
Oh,
no,
maybe.
I think it was 2002. And I think that I don't know. I have no idea. This is totally just speculation. But if they're run, I haven't researched it, which I could have, but I didn't. If they are run by the same company, then they would have seen that I went to E3 or was supposed to go to E3 15 years ago, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let him in."
Actually, isn't there a web presence rater on the internet? Like it rates your web presence?
There's no way that would be the reason that I would get in. But Jarron got his acceptance back. We already booked our hotel. Two beds.
Awesome.
Picture it didn't happen.
And we're pretty excited. We're going to drive down the Wednesday that it starts, check everything out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and
Is that
drive
the
back
first
on Sunday.
week of the new year? When is it? When does it happen?
Yep, first week of the new year. I may not have a job when I get back.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
right. It's New Year's, and then it's that week.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you're leaving in like a week?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys going to go to the other convention across the street?
What's the other one?
The one that always runs the same time as CES?
Oh, the Adult Entertainment Expo.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
I forgot
What?
to sign
I
up
got
for that
lost.
Yeah.
What's all this silicone?
one. These are really interesting gadgets.
Yeah, exactly.
What is its use case?
This one has some lights and moves around.
I don't think we'll be going to that
No.
one.
Just look
But,
from across the
yeah,
street.
we'll probably
Be
look
like,
from across the street
like,
and snicker
wow.
to ourselves like, we're adults. Anyway,
What was that laugh?
that's,
that's about all we got. So we're excited to report on that. We'll take any videos and pictures and whatever that we can think of along the way.
yeah, find some cool stuff.
Try to
And,
post things on Facebook.
Yep, see what kind of neat crap we can find down there. So
Yeah, content.
we're excited.
Yeah, get some videos. of
That's
you guys
it.
walking around.
That's been 2016 from the Gadget Spot.
Our first and best year.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is our best year ever.
that is our best year ever.
Yeah, yeah.
You're right, guys. Yeah, that's exciting. All right, well, let's finish this off. The best year ever.
Hey, we hope you care.